welcome to my channel. This is Mary, the farm girl. So today I want us to look at the proof of funds. So what are the new requirements for the proof of funds? Last time I showed you the jobs that you can be actually applying for without needing to show that you have proof of funds. But today I want to show you guys how much money do you need to show as proof of funds before you migrate to Canada. This is especially for somebody without a job offer. So if you want to get rid of having to show that you have a proof of funds for your application to go through, then you need a job offer. But what if you do not have a job offer but you have enough money to show? How much do you have to show? So the proof of funds, skilled immigrants, OC codes A, B, and O. So what are the money that you need to show that you have? Proof of funds is how you show us that you have enough money to settle in Canada. If we invite you to apply, you must give a written proof that you have this money. So who needs proof of funds? Number one, you need proof of funds to meet the minimum requirements of the Federal Skilled Worker Program and the Trades Program. But however, who does not need the proof of funds to show that you have enough money to support yourself and your family if you are applying under the Canadian Experience class, or if you are authorized to work in Canada and you have a valid job offer, even if you apply for under the Federal Skilled Worker Program or the Federal Skilled Program. What does this requirement of authorized to work in Canada mean? This means that if you have a work permit, so let's say you have applied for the employer specific work permit, or probably you have the open work permit. So in that case, and you have a job offer, you already have a job that you're going to migrate and work at or in Canada, then you don't need to show that you have a proof of funds. So you keep your funds up to date in your profile. The system may find you are eligible for more than one program. You don't always know ahead of time which program you will be invited under. So it is good that you always keep your account updated. You always keep your funds in the account. This does not mean that the whole amount should be in the account, but your account should show that you have an active balance or an active ability to support yourself through the finances that you're going to show. Not necessarily having the money for the 6 months that they say, but having a circulation of income of the same amount that can prove that you are able to support yourself when you go to Canada. So how much will you need? The amount of money you need to support you and your family depends on the size of your family. So to calculate the size of your family, you must include, number one, yourself. Number two, your spouse or partner. Number three, your dependent children and your spouse's dependent children. So you should include your spouse or dependent children even if they are permanent residents of Canada or they are not coming to Canada with you. So this table shows the minimum amount you need to migrate to Canada as of June 2022, as of June 9, 2022. If you have more money, you should list the full amount in your profile or application. Number of family members, funds required. So if you are a one family member, then it is 13,000 Canadian dollars. If you are two, it is $16,000, 570 Canadian dollars. For 3 members, you will need 371 Canadian dollars. You will need 24,733 Canadian dollars if you are going to be 4 people. If it is 5 people, then it is 28,052 Canadian dollars. If it is 6 people, then it is 31,638 Canadian dollars. And if you are 7 people, then it is 35,224 Canadian dollars. Now, what does this mean? For any additional family member, you're going to be adding 3,586 Canadian dollars for every family member. So if you have 8 people, you add 3,000. If you have 9 people, you add 6,000, all the way up to the number of people if your family is big. So what is accepted as the proof, or what does Canadian government need you to show that you have enough money? Number one, the funds should be readily available to you. For example, you can't use equity or real or real property as proof of settlement of funds. This is because it is going to take time for you to turn the real property into cash money or into liquid money. So the other thing is that you also can't borrow this money from another person. You must be able to use this money to pay cost of living for your family, even if they aren't coming with you. So what this means is that you cannot go to a bank and tell them, because we have had this relationship with you, then you can be giving me, you can borrow, can I borrow this amount of money to show as proof of funds? No, because remember, you're showing the proof of funds as the money that you're going to be using in Canada to support yourself. So it is for expenses. If it was for investment, that would be another case, but it is for expenses. So they don't want you to have a big burden of going to Canada without money, and then you borrow, and then you have a burden to come here, and the burden of paying for the expenses, then that is too much. They don't want you to have that. They want you to be as comfortable as possible. The other thing that you need to know is that if your spouse is coming with you, you can count money you have together in a joint account. You may be able to count money in an account under their name only, but you must be able to prove that you have access to the money. The other thing is that the funds must be available both when you apply and if we issue you a permanent resident visa. You must prove to an immigration officer that you can legally access the money used here when you arrive. For proof, you must get official letters from any banks or financial institutions where you are keeping your money. So what does the letter contain? Number one, it must be printed in the financial institution's letterhead. Number two, they should include their contact information, for example, their address, their telephone number, and email address. Number three, you should include your name. Number four, you should list outstanding debts such as the credit card debts or other loans. And you should also include, for each current bank and investment account, the account numbers, date each account was opened, current balance of each account, average balance for the past 6 months. Updates for funds requirements. We update the minimum amount you need every year based on 50% of the low income cutoff totals. The changes are small, but there is a chance they could affect your eligibility. So you should be sure to check the new numbers once they are posted. So how much money should you bring? When you are coming to Canada, how much money should you bring? Research how much it costs to live in the place you are planning to settle in Canada. For example, when you're planning to go to Toronto, you're going to be needing a lot more money than a person who is going to be living in Thunder Bay. Why? Because the life or the expenses, the cost of living in Toronto is higher than that of Thunder Bay. So depending on the province that you're going to be living in, make sure that you consider the cost of living. So bring as much money as you can. This will make you moving and finding a home in Canada easier. When you arrive in Canada, you have to tell the border officer if you're bringing more than 10,000 Canadian dollars into Canada. If you don't tell them, you may be fined and your funds could be seized. So this includes if you have cash money. Number two, the documents show property or capital payable to you, such as the stocks, the bonds, debentures, or treasury bills. And remember, you can also use the stocks, bonds, debentures, and treasury bills as money or as proof of funds when you're migrating to Canada. The documents that guarantee payment of a set amount of money which are payable to you, such as bankers' drafts, checks, money orders, and travel checks. So what happens when you're in the plane, when you're ready to go to Canada? The flight attendants, they will be giving you a form. They will give you a form which you're going to fill so that you can indicate the amount of money that you have in your as cash. So if you have more than $10,000, that is when you indicate that you have more than 10,000 Canadian dollars. Other than that, so that is the new money or the proof of funds that you have to show when you're migrating to Canada as at June 25th, 2022. And this money was updated in June 9, 2022. So here is the list again, just in case you missed this point. So that is all I wanted to tell you about right now about the proof of funds, and this is required especially for somebody without a job offer. So if you want to escape showing that you have proof of funds, get a job offer. All right, but if you cannot get a job offer and you feel you have this money to show as proof, then go ahead and apply for your travel visa, for your permanent residency, and you're going to be starting your dream in Canada life all together. So see you in the next video, where we shall be also expounding more on life in Canada, working in Canada, immigrating to Canada. And until next time, bye bye.